Web Development 101, Lesson 3, Part 2. Let's look at inline styling. So far we've learned how to use style element in the document heading to style HTML elements. We're going to learn now how to use that styling inline for HTML elements. So right in the line that we are in, down in the body of the code. So all HTML elements can be styled inline with the style attribute. Inline styling allows us to add CSS styles for a specific element. Previously, we applied the style to all elements of a particular type, like all paragraphs or all heading twos. You can just do one specific one by using styles inline. So to do that, right in the tag, you will declare a style attribute and set it. So for example, you would say style equals, and in quotes, background color, yellow. It will change the background color then to yellow. You can also write CSS styles in a separate file called a style sheet. Instead of a .html extension, it has a .css extension. You can include the file inside your web page using the link element in the document head. An example is right here. So inside the head, it would say link, and then rel tells you what it is, the style sheet, and then href goes to the whatever the name of it is, .css. So let's do an inline style example, or look at an inline style example. So this example, they're adding an inline style attribute to the first list item. So this word strawberry, it says list item style equals background color, yellow. So just strawberry will have that background color yellow. Nothing else is changed. Had I done this up in the head in a style tag, all list items would change. You can declare more than one style at the same time. To do that, you separate them with a semicolon. So if you look at this example right here, not only is this background color pink, the font size has been made really big, 32 pixels. So they did style equals, and within quotes, background dash color, pink, semicolon, and then the second thing they changed was font dash size to 32 pixels. So let's just look at this diagram. This shows the difference between these. So if you look at styling up in style in the head, you do a selector, which tells you which type of item or element you're going to style, the property, and the value, followed by a semicolon. These go in curly brackets. Again, this is in the head of the document. Inline styling looks a little different. It's style equals, and then in quotes, you have the property, value. If you're going to have multiple, you use a semicolon and declare the next property and value. You do not need curly brackets, and there's no selector. So let's look at this example here and work through it together. It says move, in the code below, move the inline styling for the first list item to the style element section. Do you see any difference in the output? Well, right now, it's only doing the one item, which is strawberry. So instead, we're going to do list item, and we're going to say, and you can actually just cut and paste these if you want. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to cut and paste and do that. And then now all of them are pink with 32 pixel font because I told it to take the styles and apply it to all list items. All right, let's look again at revisiting list types. So none, there's no specific marker. Disk is the circle, that's the default. Circle is an open circle, and then square. Decimal, this is the default. If you want it to be the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't have to do anything. Roman numerals, this is lowercase, uppercase, lowercase letters, and then uppercase letters. So this challenge, it's asking us to replace both type attributes with an inline style attribute and use the list style type property that matches the given types, which they haven't shown you. So it says you can configure the types of list using list style type. We're going to do that. So instead of using type, we're going to change this to say style equals, and then in quotes we'll say list style type, and that was circle, I think. Oops. And then this one is an A. I better keep that right there so I don't forget this time. Style equals list style type, and get rid of that, and an A. Now A won't work. What you have to do is lower dash alpha. There we go. And upper dash alpha for uppercase, which they don't tell you that here. Here it is. There it is. Lower or upper. Those are the available values for it. Now if I check my code, I did lowercase. Does it want a different type? I did. List style type equals lower out. That's correct. I don't know why it's saying it's wrong. It's not. All right, so nested lists. We can have lists within lists. Unordered and ordered lists can be mixed and matched in a nested list. Most websites use nested lists to display a menu or a table of contents. So here's an example of a nested list. It has fruits, and then from that, it starts lists here. There's berries, and then types of berries, citrus, types of citrus fruit, pitted fruits, different ones, and examples for each one. So you can see the main list here, or list item, is going to be, it's super fun to look at this. So if we look at fruits, that's just a heading. But once we hop in, the first list item here, you can see the LI is here and the end LI is here. All of this is for berries. Within berries, there's another list right here, an unordered list, and there's all those list items. Same thing with citrus. Citrus right here is a list item. Then there's an unordered list in here that has the different types of citrus as list items. So it's nested inside. All right, add a nested list of your favorite foods. Well, let's see. I'm going to do an unordered list, and that. And I'm going to do a list item, breakfast foods. All right, and then underneath that list, oof, it always does that. Underneath that breakfast foods list, I'm going to make a new ordered list of my favorite breakfast foods in order. And yes, I'm giving them a value. I'm going to number them. I really want this to indent. All right, list items, pancakes. And then eggs. Go away, little A. That always happens, and I don't like it. Let's do one more. Waffles. Okay, so there's one list within another list. Now I'm going to add another list right here. And I'm going to do, instead of breakfast foods, I'm going to say main or list item, main meals, or wait, I don't know. Let's say dinner. We'll just do dinner. And list item. And now technically this end LI should go down here. It doesn't get real picky about it. So if I put this end LI right there, that's that nested within there. It's not going to be that picky about it. I don't move it until the end because otherwise it gets kind of weird. Now I'm going to do an ordered list in here of my favorite dinner foods, starting with pizza. And I didn't mean to put that in there. We're going to do list item. List item. That OL needs to come out a little bit. That's good. Pizza. I'm going to end that ordered list out here. And list item. All right. I'm just going to do that A thing again, which is so annoying. List item, tacos. Nope. And let's pick another one. Burgers. Any kind of burgers. All right. And then I'm going to take this list item and move it over here. And there we go. Now if I check my code, it should be good. Yep, at least one nested list item. Breakfast foods, dinner foods. Lists with images. List items can be anything, including images. So here's an example using images as well as line breaks within a list. So things I like. It's an unordered list, and then the list item, it's snowboarding, there's a break, and then an image, and then the end list item. So it's going to have text, a break, and then a picture. And it does that all the way down. Each list item is a little bit of text, a break to make it go to the next line, and then an image. If I take the break out, it puts the image right next to it. That's why the break's in there. All right, favorite music. The body element is missing. Insert the start and end tags for the body element. All right, let's fix this. Starting at number 1 here. There's a head and we're missing a body. So body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. There we go. And end body. There we go. Fixed. Title's in there. Head has an end head. Beautiful. Now, add a heading for the list and wrap the text in a single paragraph element. Add a heading for the list. Okay, let's do heading 1. And end heading 1. Great. I'm going to move this down. And then it says, wrap the text in a single P element. So I'm going to hit enter here and do a P tag. And after the text, I'm going to do an end P. Now add your songs with a line break after to format each one. All right. Favorite songs? Good gracious, I don't know. I have so many. Let's go to my chill playlist. All right, here we go. And then it says to add a break after each one to put them all each on their own line. It's funny because they're not having you do a list here. Kind of a weird one to throw in the middle. Collide, break. Let's see what happens when I check code. Yeah, it doesn't even care. Why is we're working with lists and images and it doesn't have you do anything with lists or images? That's not awesome. All right. Web browsers display HTML elements as boxes. So we can use CSS to change the size and style of each of those boxes. The CSS box model is kind of a complicated concept, but it's something that we are going to cover because you need to know how to use it. So here is a list of properties we can use to manipulate the box around an element: width, height, border, padding, and margin. So you know what width and height are, and you know what a border is. Padding is the space around our content. It has the same background color as the content. Margin is the space around the border, and it will never have a background color. This image represents the box model. So if you look at it, you'll have your content, width, height. The padding is the spot around it that has the same background color as the content. It has a border here, and then the margin, you can see, has no color to it. It's transparent. So let's take a look at the box model, and we're gonna do some work with it here. It says add more declarations to mimic the image above. So right now it has background, width, and height. We want it to look like this. So we need to mess with the padding, the border, and the margin haven't been taken care of yet. So I'm going to say padding. I'm going to just put all these here. Border, margin. Now, margin was 20 pixels. So I'm going to put that 20 pixels, and you can see it popped open a little bit. Border, 6 pixels solid blue. And you can do that all in one line. Now we could set the color, we could set the size and do that all on separate lines, but with border we can do 6 pixels solid blue on one line, and it will do what we told it to do here without having to do a color declaration and a size declaration. So take that shortcut when you can. Now the padding is going to be 20 pixels. So we're going to say padding 20 pixels. And now that padding jumped here. So pretty. Check our code. We did it right. This is just looking at the padding. So just like borders, we can apply different padding to and margin sizes to our elements. You can have them have bigger or smaller amounts of padding above or below. Here's some examples. And you can use that shorthand like I did right here with the border to do the same thing here where you're doing, instead of saying like padding top, padding bottom, or margin top, margin bottom, it goes in order: top, right, bottom, left. If you do one, it will do all of them the same. If you do two, it's going to do top and bottom, and then left and right. And then this is if you want all four to be different. Okay? This is not normal. You don't do that generally. This happens. You don't have to do pixels. You can do percentage, and I can tell you percentage is what's used standard for actual web developers because you can't control how big someone's screen is. So if you do a specific amount of pixels, it can look a little weird on some screens. So it says try some other units here. Try changing the values assigned to margin and padding. So this is 5% and this is 50 pixels auto. And auto here, if you look, it's the size of the margin will be selected depending on the available space. It can be used to center your box on the page. So I'm gonna take out auto first of all, and then it uncenters it. So it's kind of cool, right? Let's do, I'm going to put that back in there because I like it when things are centered. Let's do padding of 50%. Look at that. It added 50% padding. So 50% of the page, 50% bigger. Amazing. You could change that back to 5 so it doesn't look crazy. And you could change your margin from 50 pixels to 10%. There you go. All right, this is a project and it's going to have a separate video because it is a graded project.